Hey guys, welcome back to another training workout. Today I have decided to come down and check out the gym here, which is MI40 in Tampa. I've got a new gym, I can come and start training here again, and they have such an awesome variety of equipment. So for those of you that are using the workout builder, it means that we're going to have such a greater variety of exercises because so many more things that I can film demonstrations for and bring to you in our programs. Today I thought I would walk you through the gym, give you a little tour, and you'll start to see more of these machines and equipment being featured on the workout builder because we'll be redoing everything on the workout builder and refilming it here. So today I thought I would actually bring to you a glutes, shoulders, and I guess single back, single chest program. So I'm going to be doing 8 exercises in total. Majority of those are going to be on my lower body, and then we'll wrap up with some shoulders, chest, and back. So let's go and check out the gym, we'll do a tour, and then we'll get started. I don't know what this is. Ooh, I like this. Yeah. All right. What are we going to start with? What compound exercise do I actually want to do today? I think we'll use this bad boy. Today I'm actually going to work through, like I said earlier, 8 exercises, but this is only my second time being in the gym to train. So I came here a few weeks ago, checked it out, and I was like, yes, this is going to work. So I'm honestly going to go through and kind of map out today's workout like I would if I was building out a program. Obviously starting with our biggest compound movement first. Today I really want to focus on glutes, and I have not used this. So we're going to give this a go today. Hip thrusts. But I'm going to do a calf bridge. I guess one of the key things to consider when you're doing any kind of bridges or thrusts is that the distance between where your shoulder blades sit on the bench and where your heels are on the pad is close enough so that it's kind of a reflection of your spine length. I know a couple of times I've been to some gyms where they've got really random glute machines, and I've got in and I'm like, this must have been developed for someone that's like 7 foot tall because it's so far apart. So I guess this looks like it just pulls up, slides forward. I'll let that clip in. Thank gosh, it worked. It did what I thought it would do. Shoulder blades on the pads. So I've gone to the opposite here. This is too close. How's that hip angle? Pretty close. I might take it back just one. Let's do a few warm-ups. So I'm going to do 10 to 12 body weight, and I'm going to do the whole set today with my band. Oh, notice my shoulder blades are kind of nicely rest on the bench. I'm not like on my neck, which is how I would have been if I kept it where it was. The shoulder blade, and like I've always said, we're trying to get a nice right angle when you're in the extended position. If your feet are too far forward, notice how that angle opens up. That's now all hamstrings. We want to keep this in the glute. Yeah, that's better. This is gonna suck. So I'm going to do 4 sets of these today, and you might be wondering why. So because I'm not using like weight plates or I guess pin loaded, where I can add lots of resistance, my volume is naturally going to be a little bit lower because I'm just using my resistance bands. But I want to try and incorporate a couple of different rep ranges. So I've also got planned for a program later in the week. It's going to be Sunday. Something that is compound, so I will load up with plates. So today I'm going to do something that's higher rep, but I'm going to do more sets and more reps so that I can equate the volume so that it's still challenging enough for me to actually be able to make some progress. So we'll give this a go. I'm going to go for 25 and see how that feels. And again, when I'm doing these reps, if I get to 25 and I still feel like I could do another 15 reps, I probably need to do more. So we want to try and work within, I guess, an RPE, like, I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 9 for these. If we go too light and it's like an RPE 4 or 5, then I'm not really working close enough to failure, and I won't get the progress and the results that I'm looking for. So I'll do that first set. That can kind of be like my first warm-up set, and then I can go from there. So toes out slightly, keep my nips just slightly wider than my shoulder blades. And I'm keeping my knees out intentionally the entire time. "28, 29, 30. That was actually pretty good. Whew. So we'll say with these, try to keep your vision, like when you're coming up into, I guess, extension, keep looking forwards. I know I started to find myself like glancing up as I like lose concentration. But keeping your head or your vision and glancing, looking forwards is going to keep your chin tucked. You want to avoid like feeling as you do your extension because that'll help get better activation with your glutes. I've seen a lot of people kind of just hitting their, even like their hip thrust, and they're like looking up like that. Keep your head forwards. That will allow you to get more spinal flexion, and your butt will hurt a little bit more. Okay, next most difficult exercise I'm probably going to say is the Barbell Sumo RDL. So we'll go sit up over in the back corner. So remember guys, on the workout order, if you are performing any exercise, and especially compound movements or like multi-joint movements, use the warm-up feature. So you'll see one side, there's a little tab at the top that says warm-up, the other side says working sets. Click that warm-up tab, and then you'll be able to scroll down and you can enter in what you think or believe to be what a 1 rep max would be for that exercise, and then it will tell you exactly what you should do and how many warm-up sets you should do so that you're lifting and warming up appropriately. So that is a cool feature which I love, because I know when I first started I was like, and I just put anything on the barbell. So super important, girls, warm up. The last thing you want to do is injure yourself. Cool. We got like rubber bumpers. Okay, so sumo stance RDL. I guess the regressed version of this exercise would be on the Smith machine. That you've got a, I guess, a fixed plane of movement. I've been doing a lot of those, and I feel like I've probably advanced enough over the last few months where I should probably stop using the Smith machine. So I'm going to use the barbell today. So feet slightly wider than shoulder width. You don't want to be ridiculously, but you can. I mean, I've definitely seen people do that if they want to get extreme range of motion, but I feel most comfortable here. I get a nice stretch through the back of my hamstring. I think that's going to be good. So make sure that you roll that bar in nice and close before you lift it up. God, it gives me a heart attack when I see, I'll just look down. I see someone like picking the bar up and out here, and I'm like, ooh! So in nice and close to your shins. I'm going to do a mixed grip just for this first set. So pulling it up nice and close to the body. And pushing the hips back and up. Keeping a nice long spine. And you'll also notice I'm kind of drawing my core in, and I'm bracing at the same time. So notice that I'm not like hyperextending. I'm just coming up to neutral and I'm tucking my tailbone under. So pushing back, lifting up. So something that I did incorrectly for a very long time when it came to any RDL was, I guess, I would think about pushing my hips back. So like if you imagine like an arrow going back this way, I was getting that part down pat just fine. But I wasn't also thinking about like lifting my butt up. So if you can try and think about doing both those things at the same time, you're going to get a lot more length out of your hamstrings. So give that a go too. Whew. So I'm going to do 3 reps for my second warm-up set. I did 5 for that last one, I hope. 3 for this next one. Mix the grip again. So depress those shoulder blades. So rather than just pulling from here, suck them back to pull through. Okay, overhand grip this time because I've got my wraps on. We're going to do a working set and I'm going to go somewhere between 8 and 10. That set actually felt pretty good, so I think we'll sit somewhere in that range. It's a nice step up from doing a Smith machine, I can tell you now. A lot more recruitment. So again, if you're somebody that's using the workout builder or you've thought about using it, I guess one of the new features that we've added is the ability to record your weight for every individual set. So I've always kind of set up my own training sheets with the ability to do that. But on our original, like version 1 of the builder, we would have just 3 by pick the weight and you'd only have 1 place to enter that in. So now you've got the ability to actually track each individual set and then it'll calculate your volume, because there's nothing worse than starting off your first working set and you're like, oh wow, that was really hard. And then you know that you've got to drop it back, but you've only got 1 place to write the weight. So you end up like doing the math, you add them up and divide it by 3 to get the average so that you know what your actual volume was. So that is a nice little feature that we have now. Felt a little bit easier. I'm going to add 10 for this next set. Last night I had a massive or a major accomplishment with my, I guess, not body confidence, but how that all ties into like my past eating disorder. So yesterday evening, I didn't get done working until probably like 9:30, 10, and I was like, I really can't be bothered making a full, like a whole meal. And I was like, okay, before I rush down to the pantry and just guzzle down like 20 different things in different amounts, like How are you feeling? I'm like, yeah, I'm probably a little bit hungry. And it's the first time that I have gone to the fridge and I ate an English muffin with peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter, at like 10 o'clock at the night. Freaking enjoyed it and went to bed and didn't think about it again. So I know for some of you that are listening, it's probably like, oh, wow. But for somebody, and I know that so many of you girls that have had disordered eating or body image issues, like there's always a lot of guilt, there's a lot of rumination, there's a lot of like just internal psychological distress that comes from eating certain things. And that's a big win for me. So yeah, I woke up this morning and I saw the muffins in the fridge and I'm like, oh, that's right. You know, like I actually did something that was a lot of progress. So celebrate those wins, girls, because those things are like big milestones to make. And I know, go back 5-10 years ago, that would never have happened. I would have eaten a whole jar of peanut butter or like half of it. So just out of like the feeling that you get from it. So there you go. I'm still making wins over here too. Oh, wow. Solid. So I think we'll shift over to quads now. So we've done glutes, hamstrings, quads. Kind of give each muscle group a little bit of a rest. So I've got single leg extensions up next. And then we've got our dumbbell lateral step up. And that is strategic as well. Because if I tried to do my lateral step up now, they're a hard exercise, and I know that I want to program it to like an RPE 7 or 8. So after having just done that, I'm going into another fairly challenging movement. So I'll give myself a rest, do something that's more isolation like the leg extension, and then I'll come back to that. So you might be wondering why there's like 3 different positions for this leg extension. When you put the weight on, there's one at the top, there's one in the middle, and then there's one at the bottom. So basically, it's just loads of muscle at slightly different portions of the movement. So you can kind of choose which section you want to work on, because some of us tend to be, well, I guess it depends on the person. Some of you may be quite strong and dominant one section of your quad. Other people may have a lot more strength at the top, so you can load appropriately. I think I'm pretty even, Stephen, so we'll see how we go. One of the things that I'm feeling as I'm doing this is that there's not really a lot of tension on my quad just in the seated position. So I really want to try and get the machine pushing back further so that there's more resistance there, and it looks like there's a little lever that will help us do that. So there we go. Yes. Ooh, yeah. All right, so see how now that's like so much further tucked back under here. It's gonna be harder to get into, but it's actually gonna work my quad a little bit better. good. So I don't normally do single leg exercises, and I probably should. I think some of you may have seen the video that I put up on Instagram a little while ago, that I was trying to do single leg squats or box squats. So just to give you an example, and this is why I'm going to start incorporating a little bit more of unilateral work, is if I try and do a box squat, keep an eye on my hips and kind of how they move, and then what my legs are doing. Yeah, hopefully I can do one today. Okay, so that's right leg. It's not too bad, but I don't know that the other side's going to be the same. Maybe I was having a bad day last time. Same thing again. Oh, she's on her best behavior today. I definitely feel like I've got a bit more instability on this side. Like you can see my hip shifting out, and then in the other video, you can see that like when I go down, my leg kind of like splays out to the side. And part of that is there's a lot of imbalances. Tightness in one area, which is pulling my leg and my hip to one side. So probably very tight ITVs and not enough strength on the other side to kind of help keep me in check. So that's actually a great exercise. It's also a very advanced exercise. The next one down is just doing it on the ground, which I'll probably do a couple, but that's about it. But you start off with something like that, like just with a TRX, and practice that movement, and then you can progress to doing it without any weights. But it will help keep you a little bit more symmetrical. So yeah, I guess what can happen is that over time, if you don't kind of isolate those muscle groups on their own, when we're starting to do squat where 2 feet are being used, so both sides of your glutes are being used, or like RDLs, you're starting to use one side more than the other, and then we can start to get rotation that can move up the body, it can move into the back, and then you start getting sore and tightness and headaches and injuries, like even for your other movements then, like everything has a carryover effect. So you probably will see a little bit more single movement exercises in these coming programs. It's not to say that the programs that I've previously done are bad. I just need to have these kind of in there a little bit more frequently so that I don't keep getting myself out of whack. So yeah. All to say, leg extension. The other thing I want you to look at too, so Brian, you can just come in front of me and look at my feet. Does anyone notice anything about my feet right now? This guy's kind of like, hello. Again, it should be, again, both of my ankles look like they're a little bit like pronated. So I wouldn't know that just sitting here looking at my quads, but that's telling me something. So I probably need to do a little bit of specific work on like my right foot with like, I guess, lateral work where I'm practicing with like a resistance band, like pushing out and down. There's some other really good ones that you can do for people that might be the other way, where you're like pushing in and squeezing with your feet, and you've got like it's not a Bosu ball, it's not a medicine ball, it's something specific that they would use in like Pilates classes. Remember like the Pilates balls? They're like tiny little things. Like practicing like squeezing to kind of get tension and strengthen all these muscles. And I guess that's also one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of people doing like bare feet training that want to have good stability, nice strong feet so that, you know, everything here kind of refers up. Like I was saying before, if you've got hip shift, it can cause, you know, rotation in your upper body, and then you're starting to do things incorrectly up here because some of those muscles are more developed than others. So it's just good to have good movement and as fewer imbalances as possible. So yeah, I think I probably need to get back into the physical therapist. I've been really lazy. So yeah, I haven't worked with a mirror in front of me for a little while. So it's actually the first time I've noticed that. This is like the moment at the end of the night when the nightclub shuts down, music turns off, lights come on. Oh. You know why I don't do lots of single leg exercises, guys? It takes so long. Okay, nice solid platform for these lateral step ups. So there is I think it's a 2020 study that was looking at glute hypertrophy. I'm pretty confident that I've shared this with you guys before, but there were several studies that, several exercises that were looking at glute activation. Now this is only EMG testing. It's not getting in there and doing like actual muscle thickness testing where they're actually taking a sample of your glute and measuring hypertrophy. They've just got pads and they're monitoring like muscle contraction and utilization, which is a very good indicator for muscle growth. So lateral step-ups, which is what I'm about to do today, were actually one of the top exercises for glutes. And the higher that box, the more glute. So high box step-ups, another one, probably going to see a lot in my programs. I wouldn't really call this a high box because it's a nice 90 degree, but if it was up here, that would be a very good glute and hamstring exercise and a little bit of quad too. But today we're going to do our laterals. So don't pick a really heavy weight when you first start. Again, I would warm up for this exercise as silly as it seems. I know we've been using our legs, but there's a lot of different kind of muscles being recruited for this exercise. So nice flat bench if you can. I would avoid using a bench with like a foam pad just because it's like wearing a tennis shoe with like the squidgy white bit at the bottom. It just makes it really unstable. So unless you're training for something that you want to be stable for, I would recommend using a flat surface. So just coming up and then back down and see my knee moving here. I want to try and keep that in like a nice parallel line with as little movement as I can. And then I'm going to have my dumbbells in my hand for this as well. So yeah, I'll be stepping up. Just like so. So I'll go grab some weights and I'll come back. Okay guys, so I'm going to place my foot kind of in the center of the bench so that I've got room to actually step up and meet my other foot. So again, really trying to keep my knee nice and stable here and isolate my glute. Hope you guys are counting. 11. Switch it up. I don't feel like that was equal. Brian, you can put the reps on the screen. I'm pretty sure one side was 10 and one side was 12. That's fine. So that is really challenging. I tend to program single leg exercises, the rep range a little bit lower, just because of the pure duration that it takes. So you'll probably often see me program 8 to 12. Rarely would I do higher reps for a single leg, otherwise you would be in the gym for days. And I also have a rule. Usually if I'm putting anything single leg, single arm, maximum 2 per workout. I remember when I first started programming, I'd spent so much time putting together like this elaborate 12-week program. And like after the 3rd day of this program, I'm like, I have way too many singles in this program. It's killing me. So, pro tip. So keep an eye on my knees. I definitely feel like my left leg, and you may find the same kind of thing, one of your legs is going to be a bit stronger than the other. So really work on that. I'm trying to minimize that knee movement. And I think progressively over the next few weeks, because this is a new exercise for me, I haven't done this in a long time, I'll get better at it. So before you think about taking the weight up, just keep an eye and focus on your technique. So I'm going to look in the mirror this time just to watch my form. So as you get better at this, one of the things that you might like to try and do is, rather than fully coming down and letting the weight, like your resting foot, take all of the weight, just come back down and half touch and then come back up, and then just let it rest lightly and then come back up, rather than me sinking back into it. And that's just because I don't have the strength at the moment on a single leg to do that. So it's another little easy way to kind of progress that exercise over time. We have got 5 exercises to go, but I'm going to superset the back and chest, and I'm supersetting the rears and the fronts. The only one that I'm not going to superset is the one I want to work the most and the hardest. That is my medial delt, and that's just going to be some kind of overhead press. So let's go and do it as I die from the cardio. So this is kind of chest. And then we're going to find a back exercise as well. Again, I haven't used this machine before. I've used it with the incline before, but not this one. But I like it. Only thing is, my thighs aren't big enough to like come down on the sides. So I'll just do the splits. This will really test my flexibility. All right, so we'll do this for our chest. This is, I think it's prime. Oh no, this one's a hammer strength. And then I want to do, for all of my back exercises at the moment, I'm really trying to avoid anything wide grip. I don't really want to flare my lats anymore. I don't want to grow a massive back anymore. I've been there, done that. I've been a figure competitor. In fact, I was looking at our complete contest prep guide the other day. I was talking through a client where to find a particular page in the book. And I'm skimming through and I'm like, I forgot like how muscular like I used to be. So all that detraining, it actually has worked. So I want to do lots of narrow grip to really isolate my rhomboids in the middle of my back. And I was reading a paper the other day about, I guess, how to optimize your middle back and how to avoid traps. Previously used to be very prone to kind of recruiting my traps, and I had pretty massive ones. So prone exercises actually tend to be a little bit better for reducing your trap engagement. So ladies, if that is something that you're concerned about, not that you should be, you're beautiful anyway, but there is also those people that are trying to compete for competitions. So if you want big traps, do lots of, vertical back exercises, or even on a 45. But as soon as we get to that prone position, where we're doing like a lateral raise, or we're doing like Ys, this is like a T. So you may see me do some like prone Ys, where you're laying flat on a bench and you're just taking your arms out in front of you. Those are going to minimize your traps. So I'm just looking for a flat bench that I might be able to do some of those on. So this is actually set up specifically for rows, but I am not going to be doing that. I'm going to get some dumbbells and I'm going to do some T raises, nice and light. And that's going to not only get a little bit of my shoulders, but also my mid-back, my rhomboids. So that's what we're going to do here. And I really like this. You may have to pry me off this bench when we get done. Okay, first working set. I really overestimated. See? This did exactly what I said not to. Look, cut me some slack. I haven't done this for a while. That's okay. That was like an uppy 8.5. If I put wrist wraps on, thought about it, really tried, I'd probably be able to do 1 or 2 more reps, but that's good. So again, I'm going to try and depress my shoulders back. And I want to keep them that end position rather than letting them sag forward. So sinking them back, just out to 45. DJ is back in the building. Woo-hoo. Make sure you brace on those. Like, you see me like take a little and like hold it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to progress your strength. Or if you don't care about your strength, don't brace. You just lift the same weights all the time. I've actually had to do that. A lot of the movements has been the weirdest thing. So obviously I've been trying to kind of lose size in my upper body. So rather than bracing for all my heavy exercises, I've just started like sucking in, like doing, you know, like the vacuums. So that's my new bracing. It is not the same, and I would not be able to lift anywhere as much. But yeah, I guess it gives me the illusion that I'm bracing, but I'm not. So, all right, chest is done. I want to do this exercise 2 ways, and I would love you to get in real close so that you can see kind of what muscles are working. So I'm going to do it without retracting my scapula, and then I'm going to do it the right way when I do retract my scapula. So the wrong way would mean this is me not retracting. Now if I retract, I guess you can see the differences in the muscles now that are being used. So I'm really squeezing my back together at the top. And then a little hold. Yeah, that wasn't very successful. Tiny little, that's a great hold. That was not gonna happen. Oh my gosh. We're all human, guys. We're all human. Okay, while we're here, so we've done chest and back. All right, so a couple of little mistakes that I've seen people do on this machine. It's nothing major, but I do think that this subtle shift in your technique will help you get better activation of your rear delts if that's something that you're trying to move on. So I think a lot of people just sit really upright and you're just not getting a good engagement, or they've got the seat too high or too low. So in this particular case, I kind of lean slightly forwards. I'm still bracing and I still want to retract my scapula. So from here to here with a slight forward angle. So look at my rear delts walking compared to if I switch it up and go back to the other way. I don't know whether you can see the difference there, but I much prefer to have a slight angle so that it really gets in real good here. Cool, we'll superset this with the front shoulder. So I'm going to do one of my favorites. I'll go and grab those dumbbells. For each set, I'm going to rotate my grip. So for this first one, I'll do a neutral. Cool, neutral done. For the next set, I'm going to pronate. And again, this is my way of kind of targeting 3 different areas without having to do 3 different exercises. Again, from a time sake, if you're somebody that only has a limited time in the gym, but you don't want to just miss muscle groups altogether, mix up the grip. I used to do the same thing for my pull-ups. So if I only had room for 1 back exercise, maybe 3 sets, I would do my wide grip, then I would do an underhand supine grip, and then a neutral to finish. And that way I've got 3 muscle groups kind of all in the one in the exercise programs. need like 2.5s for that. Not a bad way to do a drop set though. If you've done a set like that, you want to get a little bit more volume in, and please track your drop sets. We have a feature for that, although I can't remember the shameless plug. But again, if you don't want to have to add another whole exercise and you're like, shit, I gotta go. Drop sets can be great, but track the weight, track the reps, and you might grab something that's 20% less and do some isometric holds or some like little pulses or something, just to kind of get a little bit more volume in without taking up all of your day. So I've seen some crazy programs. Much harder. Whew. That is what I would call a very glute specific, lower body specific program. You're going to see a lot more of that coming through in my programs in the coming weeks, months, but I don't want to forget anybody. So if you want programs that are more symmetrical, whatever you need, please tell me, because I need your feedback to develop the best programs, because I am not you and you are not me. So leave me feedback. All that stuff is definitely taken seriously. If you want to get to our website, you can hit us up at support@biolane.com. You can ask questions. If you need help with anything, please reach out to us. We have a very comprehensive tutorial on the workout builder. You can kind of see how everything works. There's lots of tutorials within the program. So if you don't know what a myo rep set is, click the little button and one of us will pop up. I think Lane's done most of these ones, but he will pop up and he will tell you what that is. If you want to know what eccentric loading means or isometric holds or anything at all, there's a wonderful dictionary and a library that kind of explains all of that for you. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm very excited, clearly. I haven't trained in a while. I was extra happy today. But look, we're going to be bringing a lot more good stuff to you. If you want to check out the workout builder, please go and have a look at that. All of the links are going to be available for you in the description below. If you are ever in Tampa, please come and check out MI40. These guys have been so incredibly generous in giving us their time, their space, their facilities to let us come and use this badass gym. So if you're coming to Tampa, come and check out MI40. This is a really good place to come and train, and I might see you there. We're going to be living here over the next couple of months with all of the workout filming we've got to do. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the program, and I will see you then.